This is Slovakia Ring, and this is the final round of 2026 season of Renault Twingo Cup Championship. So we are ready to have the final showdown for the championship title here in Slovakia, and I believe it is going to be totally exciting for all of you guys joining us live for the first of two races here close to Dunajská Streda, close to Orechová, Potôň, not so far away from Bratislava, but also not so far away from Wien and Budapest. This is the heart of Europe. This is Slovakia Ring, and we are ready to have the final showdown of the 2026 campaign of the Twingo Cup. Those are the Twingo Cup cars taking part in the whole championship, which is mostly reserved for the young drivers who are just starting their careers just after go-karting. So we have a full starting grid of 10 drivers here on Slovakia Ring, and those 10 drivers are possible future stars of single-seaters, GT cars or touring cars. So let's get ready for the first of the two races here on Slovakia Ring. Well, I was speaking about 10 drivers on the grid which or whose could be possibly fighting for the bright future, but there is one guy starting from the pole position who is already in Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship, and he is the vice champion of 2025 season, and it is Max Karhan, of course, who is going to start the race from pole position. He is not going to take the points into the championship, as he is being the driver coach for the rest of the field. Of course, this is the Formula 4 Academy. This is the whole project, or what is this whole project about, is to find the future talents, is to help those young guns with their growing up from the karting into the single-seaters, which means the whole championship actually is under the banner of Formula 4 Academy, and the future champion can be racing in Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship as early as next year. Yes, it is possible. So this is the best platform to grow up. This is the best way how to gain the first experience with proper car racing after go-karting. We do have Max Karhan, as I said, on pole position. Next to him it is Lukáš Holík, and if we explore, or if we introduce the whole starting grid, let's move on for the second row in B3. It is Thomas Schmidt, and of course everybody is curious about Thomas Schmidt and what is he going to show here on Slovakia Ring, because Thomas Schmidt is your championship leader with 91 points to his name, with 2 races remaining, including this one we are just going to watch here on Slovakia Ring. So the championship leader Thomas Schmidt will be starting the race from 3rd place on the grid. Alongside him it is Oliver Steiner, who is actually his closest opponent, his biggest rival in the fight for the championship title, because there is a small gap of 9 points between Thomas Schmidt and Oliver Steiner as we are off into the formation lap. So it is Oliver Steiner on P3 on the grid, then Lukas Schmid starting from 5th place. Alongside him it is David Todt starting the race from P6. In 4th row, in 7th place, it is Giacomo Pegazzano and Oliver Zaid starting from 8th. Tomáš Kunc, the son of High Officer of the Czech Auto Club, starting the race from 9th place in 5th row. Alongside him it is Martin Varga starting the race from P10. On the grid we also should have Silvia Jablonska starting from P11. Originally I was talking only about 10 drivers. The fact is that 10 drivers, 10 out of 11 managed to qualify into the race. Silvia Jablonska, she was not classified in the standings of qualifying, as she did not finish within 110% of the qualifying winner. She actually set her best lap at the level of 3:23.4, and the best qualifying lap done by Max Karhan was 3 04.8, so there was a huge gap of 18.5 seconds. But of course, the aim is to let those young drivers drive and race and to gain experience. So Sylvia Jablonska should be also allowed to take a part in this race, and I believe she will be starting the race from P11 on the grid. So 11 cars, 11 Twingo Cup cars on the grid for the second to last race of the 2026 campaign. Last time around we were watching the Twingo Cup races in Most Autodrome, which was absolutely exciting as ever. We also had my colleague commentator Pavel Fabry taking part in those races actually in Most, and believe or not, he won one of those races, but actually not in the overall standings, but in so-called 90s Cup, I'm sorry, for those drivers that were born in the 90s or even older. So it was a single classification for those drivers, and Pavel Fabry, my colleague commentator, won the second race in Most in this special classification. So I had the chance, it was my great pleasure to announce him on the podium and to have played the Czech national anthem for Pavel. So it was a great moment also for us commentators, because everything is possible, as you can see. If Pavel is joining us live right now, I say hi to Pavel and his beautiful family. It's always great to have them on site and to chat with them. Anyway, I believe we're gonna see each other in Brno, and I believe we are going to have absolutely amazing season and absolutely exciting last two races of 2026 Twingo Cup season. So Max Karahan, the driver coach to those young drivers, will be starting the race from pole position, but he should not be present on the podium after the race. He is absolutely not taking any points, as he is here just as a mentor to the rest of the field. So let's be focused, because the championship leader Thomas Schmidt will be starting the race from third place on the grid. So this is it. There are final 50 points up to grab for those young drivers, and I believe that the starting grid is ready. The starting grid is set for the 7th race of the season. So we are waiting for the green flag. Yes, the green flag is being shown at the back of the grid. So the starting procedure has started. We see 5 red lights. LED lights are out, and we are racing for the first time this weekend with Twingo Cup here on Slovakia Ring. It's a challenging long track, 5.9 kilometers long, almost 6 kilometers long. That's the Slovakia Ring near to Orechová, Potôň in Slovakia, not so far away from Bratislava or Dunajská Streda, and we are going into the first corner. It's a challenging racing here over the 4 horizons, which are included into this racetrack, world famous racetrack actually, which previously hosted, for example, World Touring Car Cup or the FIM in Endurance World Championship, the Endurance World Championship for motorbikes, not for hypercars, of course. So for the first time over the horizon, this is the first lap of the 25 minutes long sprint race. This is the slowest category on the track this weekend, as this is the class for very young drivers just starting their careers. We are lapping over 3 minutes here, so it's the only class within the Grand Prix of Slovakia, within the Central European Zone Championship, which is going slowly than 3 minutes per lap actually, but the races are so exciting, so close. It's always so close between those young drivers fighting for their future, actually fighting for their future careers. And I'm just so curious if Max Karahan will be the fastest guy over the race course. I believe that this is going to happen. You can see Max car on the front of the field with those colorful stickers on the front lights. That's the reminder of the specific design of Max's helmet. So it's absolutely clearly visible which car belongs to Max Karhan, who is leading the way right now. And behind him, let's wait and see. Most likely it's going to be Thomas Schmidt, I believe, the championship leader, in second place already, as he most likely overtook one of his opponents just after the race has started. And we have some more battles here. It's number 7 versus number 4, which means Giacomo Begazzano and Lukáš Holink. Giacomo Begazzano, the Italian guy, just overtook Lukáš Holink, which means we should have Giacomo Begazzano at in P3. Yes, it's a third place for Giacomo Begazzano at the moment, behind the wheel of his blue Twingo Cup car. So this was also a great starting reaction by Giacomo Begazzano in third place now. He started from P7 on the grid and he is in P3 already. So this was a great start done by Giacomo Begazzano, who is in third. And yes, it is confirmed now, Thomas Schmidt is in second. And look at Thomas Schmidt, this young guy from Switzerland. He is so close behind Max Karhan, so he even dares to try to overtake Max Karhan into the first corner of the racetrack here in Orechová, Potôň, Slovakia. So this might be a battle between Thomas Schmidt and Max Karhan into the first corner, but not yet. Thomas Schmidt was simply not enough close behind Max Karhan, so still it is the Czech driver of Formula 4 in the lead. But now it's nice battle, wheel to wheel, mirror to mirror between Max Karhan and Thomas Schmidt. And Thomas Schmidt is your new race leader, ladies and gentlemen. So great job done by Thomas Schmidt. He is the championship leader, and of course he wants to go after this championship title. But this is nice battle, almost 4 wide on the back straight of Slovakia Ring. This is just breathtaking between those young drivers. I believe Thomas Schmidt is still in the lead, but Giacomo Begazzano is there closely behind him, and Lukáš Holík is also in that fight. No, so it's Max Karhan back in the lead. Thomas Schmidt is there alongside Lukáš Holík, driving the black Twingo Cup car number 4. So Max Karhan is your race leader again. This is crazy racing as ever in Twingo Cup between those young guns. Classic number 144 on Twingo Cup car of Max Karhan. We know this number, of course, mostly from the FIA Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship, where he carries 144 on the rear end plate of his Jensen Motorsport car. But right now this is back to the roots for Max Karhan, who is again racing in Twingo Cup and coaching and mentoring the rest of the field. And he was 1 second quicker than his closest opponent in the qualifying. So yes, he's showing some strong pace here on Slovakia Ring, as we expected. Number 16, Oliver Steiner. He is also in the battle, but it's only a battle for the second place right now, with 19 minutes to go. And as you can see, Max Karhan is already pulling away just after the race has started. He was there in the fight for the first place between him and Thomas Schmidt. For a moment he lost the first place as Thomas Schmidt overtook him over the horizon just behind the first corner of the racetrack here on Slovakia Ring. But right now Max Karhan retook the lead and he's pulling away from this bunch of cars. And Thomas Schmidt is there again, yes, number 18 on his white Twingo Cup car. Well, if we speak about the championship, if we speak about the title chances, this is the most crucial battle for the championship, because, of course, Max Karhan, he is not taking any points. And now, look how important is to have the right slipstream on the main straight here in Slovakia, here on Slovakia Ring, because Thomas Schmidt just lost several places just because he was leading the group of cars. So he had the biggest disadvantage on the main straight of Slovakia Ring, and he lost a lot of places actually. So right now it should be most likely Oliver Steiner in second place. Let's wait and see who is there. Yes, number 16. That's Oliver Steiner in the grey Twingo Cup car in the second place behind Max Karhan. 1 second, 0.3 of a second. That's the gap between Karhan and the rest of the field. And now it's 5 wide! It is 5 wide on the back straight of Slovakia Ring. This is absolutely crazy racing again, as ever in Twingo Cup. This is a great battle. Lukas Schmidt with number 22 fighting against Lukáš Holík in the black car number 4. So this is absolutely great battle. Basically, we do have the whole field racing each other right now. Only Sylvia Jablonska is losing some time, and she is in P11, 30 seconds behind Max Karhan in the lead. But on the other hand, we do have the whole field consisting of 10 cars, 10 young drivers fighting each other. Of course, yes, Max Karhan is there in the lead, but the rest of the field, you just see it. This is the great battle for the second place at last. Well, I was speaking about the championship chances. Of course, Max Karhan is going after the win, but again, I have to remind that there has been an agreement that Max Karhan won't be going onto the podium after this race. So it means he is not taking any points from this race, as he is a guest driver, and he is there as a driver coach and racing mentor to the rest of the field. So the main race is there for the second place, because if you finish in P2, you basically win the race and you take the 25 points, and that's the most important thing for those drivers still included in the championship fight, still included in the fight for the championship title. Well, how many drivers do we have actually in the championship fight? Yes, Thomas Schmidt still leading the championship with 91 points, 82 points goes to Steiner, 70 points has Pegazzano. Well, so mathematically also Giacomo Pegazzano is in the fight, but now let's be focused on this great battle on the main straight of Slovakia Ring. We do have again 5 cars fighting each other. We almost go 3 wide here into the first corner. Again, this is just brilliant. This is how you learn to drive. This is how you learn to race. This is the most important factor about this championship for those young drivers, just making their steps from go-karting into the car racing. This is where you gain so much experience just before you make another step into single-seaters, for example. And I believe we are going to see some of those drivers doing Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship in 2027. So already you can be picking up your future favorites, your future favorite drivers into Formula 4 Central European Zone, which is actually growing and growing year after year. We do have on the grid, for example, Ella Hakkinen, the daughter of 2-time Formula 1 champion Mika Hakkinen. She is doing her very first season in Formula 4 on the Central European Zone level, which makes us so happy. And we can already see the massive follow of the fans for this championship, which has over 40 cars for 2026 campaign. And I do believe that among those 40 drivers, we are going to see one of those drivers racing in Twingo Cup right now next season. So this is just really good preparation for those young drivers before they are going to make another great step in their career from Twingo Cup Series into Formula 4 next season. This is the whole project about Formula 4 Racing Academy, and this is about rising the new stars of the future. So we do have 13 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first race of Twingo Cup here on Slovakia Ring. So still Max Karhan in the lead, but you saw it yourself that again there was almost no gap between Karhan and the rest of the field the last time around. Only 0.2 of a second of gap between Karhan and Steiner, Martin Varga behind them, so it's Czechia and Hungary, or it was last time around on the main straight. So how is it going to be this time? We can see, I believe, Oliver Steiner in the grey Clio Cup car trying to overtake the race leader, and yes, Oliver Steiner is your new race leader. So Oliver Steiner is in the lead, just ahead of Max Karhan. Wow, great job done by Oliver Steiner. He is also capable of overtaking Max Karhan in Twingo Cup. I mean, this is what makes this class so specific. Those cars are absolutely not powerful, so it's, let's say, much more easier for those young drivers to follow more experienced and quicker driver like Max Karhan is, and that's the reason why we have so good races, so good racing here on Slovakia Ring. Again, almost free wide into the first corner. I believe it's a Karhan again. Yes, 144 on the left rear window of his Twingo Cup car, which means, yes, Max Karhan back in the lead. But again, this is basically the fight for the win, because Max Karhan won't be going onto the podium, he won't be classified for the championship fight, so he's not taking any points. So it is now very important for Martin Varga, who is there in second place, because basically he is leading the race, and if it stays like that, it would be Martin Varga who will be there on the top spot on the podium. But still, we do have 11 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this race, so much more is going to happen between those young drivers here on Slovakia Ring. Meanwhile, this is another great battle. Oh no, Lukáš Holík went off into the cover zone, so he lost some time, and he also lost some positions. It's tough to pick up the pace again, as you can see. So Lukáš Holík just lost 3 places, I believe. So this was pretty unfortunate for the young Czech driver Lukáš Holík, driving his Twingo Cup car number 4. It was Giacomo Begazzano again with number 7, who was there in the fight for 4th place right now, and actually, it was a bold and brave move done by Giacomo Begazzano, as he is in 4th place right now, which means he only sees those top 3 drivers up there in front of him. So the main goal for Giacomo Begazzano now at the moment is to join the party at the front of the field. Where are those 3 drivers fighting each other for the first place? So Martin Varga is in the lead. He set the fastest lap of the race, I believe, last time around. Yes, that's correct, 3:05.077. So we are almost breaking 3:05 now. So very good job done by Martin Varga, who is still in the lead. But nothing has been decided yet. And again, we are going free wide into the right-handed corner, and Max Karhan is trying to go round the outside around Martin Varga, who is keeping his racing line. Good defensive work done by Martin Varga here, who is still in the lead of the race. So Varga leads as we are back on the main straight of Slovakia Ring. Those are your top 3 drivers now. Varga in the lead, ahead of Karhan, the reigning Formula 4 Central European Zone vice champion from 2025. Now Karhan into the lead, and he's being followed by Oliver Steiner in the grey Twingo Cup car. So again, so many switches in the standings going on the main straight. Varga no longer in the lead. He has been replaced by Max Karhan. Also, he was overtaken by Oliver Steiner, and now there is also Giacomo Begazzano behind Martin Varga, and now the overtake is happening just in front of us. Yes, Giacomo Begazzano with number 7 overtaking Varga, and still a great battle. I can see 6 cars, yes, 6 cars, 6 drivers fighting each other for the race win. And ladies and gentlemen, this is all about cup racing. This is what the cup racing is all about. Race hard, be fair, try to learn and gain as much experience as you can. This is the best school for those young drivers. 8 minutes to go, and right now it is the young Italian Giacomo Pegazzano for the first time in this race in the lead. So it's the blue Clio Cup car, and the truth is that Giacomo Pegazzano this season he is still waiting for his first race win. The truth is that he has finished in P2 3 times actually. The first second place he took on Grobnik circuit in Croatia, where the season has started. Then he finished in second place twice in Most, which was the previous race weekend before the Grand Prix of Slovakia here on Slovakia Ring. And right now Giacomo Pegazzano, he has a chance to win the race for the first time in 2026 season, but now he is being overtaken by Max Karhan again. Another great battle, wheel to wheel, mirror to mirror, and we are almost 4 wide again, and this is amazing. Oliver Steiner going from the left-hand side behind the wheel of his grey Twingo Cup car, and now it's Oliver Steiner in the lead of the race. Wow, another great overtaking done by multiple drivers as Steiner retakes the lead. Pegazzano drops back to third, and he is there in sandwich between Karhan and Schmidt, and we are going 3 wide on the main straight of Slovakia Ring again. So let's check on the standings. Oh, I'm sorry, it's David Todt. It is David Todt in the battle again, yeah. So where is Thomas Schmidt? He's only in 5th. So it is another white car of David Todt actually, driving the car number 9. Well, most definitely Karhan is the leader. Behind him it's Pegazzano and Steiner, the blue and the grey car. But behind them it's for the first time also David Todt, who took a second place for a quick moment going on the main straight. Right now he is back in the mix like in P4, yes, behind the wheel of the 9. So that's David Todt driving the Twingo number 9. Now he is in 4th place, fighting hard the others, including Thomas Schmidt in 5th place. Well, for Thomas Schmidt, the most important thing is to beat Oliver Steiner, because those 2 drivers are fighting each other. The championship title fight is on mostly between those 2 drivers, so there is a basic aim for Thomas Schmidt. He just needs to stay ahead of Oliver Steiner to the end of the race. It's easy to say, of course, but much more complicated to proceed if the racing itself is so crazy here. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go. There is a proof that we do have 11 cars on the racetrack. That was Sylvia Jablonska driving her car number 21. And there is a huge gap between this leading pack and her. Gap larger than 1 minute and 20 seconds. Oh no! Huge lookup done by Oliver Steiner. He was late on the brakes, but he managed to not crash into Max Karhan, so the battle is on. And right now this is going to be so harsh and so hard between those 2 drivers, Todt and Steiner. But also Thomas Schmidt is joining the party. Well, still 3.5 minutes to go. And as you can see, absolutely nothing has been decided yet. Karhan back into the lead, in front of Steiner and David Todt with number 9. And most likely this is going to be the last lap of the race, or possibly second to last. Oh no, there are some troubles. It was Oliver Zeitz who is facing some kind of technical issues to his car. But I believe no neutralization will be needed. And just let's get ready for the final showdown. This is the last lap, or second to last lap of the race. And we still have 6 cars, 6 drivers in the fight for the race win here on Slovakia Ring. So right now Karhan is there. This was a mistake done by Oliver Steiner, who went off the track and lost some places. Not good for Oliver Steiner, as the race is going to end quickly. This maybe was a crucial moment for Oliver Steiner, because he went off the track into the gravel zone and he lost a lot of time in the most unfortunate moment. As the race end is getting closer and closer. There might be no more chances for Oliver Steiner to get closer again. And in the meantime, we do have those 3 drivers fighting each other. So it is going to be a battle between Karhan, Thomas Schmidt, and also David Todt. Now David Todt goes for the inside, trying to overtake Thomas Schmidt. Max Karhan in the lead. So David Todt, the young guy from Hungary, also very hungry for success. This is the slow car of Oliver Zeitz, who is just trying to... Oh no! This is Oliver Steiner going off the track! This is Oliver Steiner going off the track into the gravel zone. This was a major moment, and we can see the checkered flag, so let's go for the finish of the race. And after all, it should be Max Karhan in the first place. Yes, Karhan took the checkered flag as the first driver, but Thomas Schmidt will be collecting 25 points after this race. So this is super important for Thomas Schmidt. Most likely he's going to receive 25 points for the 3rd time in a row this year. So this is super important for the championship and for the title deciding battle. So Max Karhan wins the race on the paper, but Thomas Schmidt will be there with 25 points for the 1st place. David Todt in 3rd, which means in 2nd if we speak about the points. And behind them it is Martin Varga in 4th, which means in 3rd respectively if we do not take Max Karhan into account. Behind them Giacomo Begazzano in 5th, Lukas Schmid in 6th, Lukas Holik in 7th place. P8 for Oliver Steiner, who made a mistake in the very last lap of the race. So this was so unfortunate for Oliver Steiner, because right now he is losing the title, he's losing the championship title chances. The gap was only 9 points between those 2 drivers, between him and Schmidt before this race, but right now he made a huge mistake at the very last lap of the race, and he only finished in P8, which means in P7. But still, if Thomas Schmidt is going to receive 25 points, this is going to be a huge disappointment for Oliver Steiner, who most likely lost his title chances today. Oliver Kunz in P9, and We are only waiting for Sylvia Jablonska to be waved with the checkered flag at the finish line, and it happened right now. So all 11 drivers took the checkered flag. Oliver Seitz in P11 with his technical issues. So this was the first race of the final weekend of the 2026 season of the Twingo Cup. Max Caruhan is officially your race winner, but Thomas Schmidt should be taking 25 points for the race win actually, as Max Caruhan is there only, let's say, as an ambassador, mentor and coach to the others. So very, very important race for Thomas Schmidt and his title chances. David Todt and Martin Varga, also great race done by those young Hungarians. Giacomo Vegazzano in 5th. And then we do have 5 Czech drivers: Schmid, Holik, Steiner, Kunz and Sylvia Jablonska in P10 and Oliver Seitz in P11 after some technical issues to his car. So this was the first race of Twingo Cup, and we are going to award the championship title tomorrow. Make sure you are also joining us for the final race tomorrow, and also make sure that you are going to join us live for the 1-hour endurance race of GT Cup Series starting in a few minutes here on Slovakia Ring. Have a pleasant rest of the day. Thank you so much.